Hello world and welcome to Elevated Intuition. Today we are doing a pick a card for your career in finance for September. So I have 4 decks for us, 4 different numbers. I also have crystals I will place on them in a little bit, but I want you to know what these decks are, and at any time if you know which reading is calling to you, I have the links down in the description for the specific reading. So for group 1, this is Golden Art Nouveau Tarot. This is for group 2, this is the Lazy Crow Tarot. Group 3, you have Way of the Panda Tarot. And group 4, this is the Light Seers Tarot. Again, if you already know, I'll meet you there. Crystals now. For number 1, we have some rose quartz. For 2, this is orange calcite. 3, this is blue calcite. And for 4, this is amethyst. So I'm going to go ahead and take a deep breath if you would like to do that with me, or if you're still not sure which pile is calling to you, please feel free to do this exercise with me. I'm going to close my eyes and I'm just going to take a deep breath in and release. Release out any anxiety. You continue breathing, but release anxiety. Be here in the moment, and as you open your eyes, wherever your eyes are attracted, that is the group for you, and I will meet you at your reading. Thank you. Hello, group 1. If you picked 1 or the rose quartz or Golden Art Nouveau, I've got a lot going on. You are in the right place. So we already gave this a really good shuffle, and now we're just going to pull some cards for you. Okay, so first card is current situation, and we have the 7 of Pentacles, and then who it came out with that here for your lessons learned. We have the sword, King of Swords, if you want to see that. See what he looks like upright. I'm going to go ahead and pull obstacles to overcome while we're here, since we have both of those out. It's just one card. Obstacles to overcome for our group 1. It keeps wanting to pull a bunch of cards here. Just one card for obstacles to overcome. Here we go. Okay. All right, so your current financial situation, we have the 7 of Pentacles. It looks like, it feels like, you know, you have been working very, very hard on a couple things, on a few things here. And you might just be kind of in a waiting game, kind of a holding pattern. I'll show all of these up so we can see them. Kind of like watching to see if the pot is going to boil. Like, you've put the work in, and now it's time to really kind of trust what you've done and trust the system. I feel like lessons learned. We have the King of Swords in reverse. It's almost kind of let go of control. That's why I'm like saying trust the system. Kings are in control of their suit. They are in control of, this king is in control of his thoughts. He's in control of truth. I feel like maybe it's exhausting for you to kind of try to handle all of that. Try to spin it in a way. You know, the truth is the truth, and for some reason I feel like there's something in your career finance that you're trying to control a situation, how things are going, how you might be spinning something. And this could really have to do with, you might be in marketing with the swords, because this is definitely communications. it can either be like communications between you and coworkers, communications between you and authority figures. Maybe you're trying to protect somebody and it's really laborious, and it's just kind of like a, hey, you know what? The truth is the truth. It kind of speaks for itself. A lot of times we put in a lot of work to try to spin a situation, or we want people to see things the way that we see them, and really we just have to present them the way that they are. It's like, here's the facts. It's kind of like a stick to the facts kind of thing. And I feel like that might be something that you've learned. Also, I mentioned something about trusting the system. You might feel like you need to get your hands in here and do something as far as control. This might be something that you have learned or you're continuing to learn, that is like, okay, you did your part. You did what you are supposed to do, and now it's just like in the hands of like fate a little bit, but not clearly in fate. I mean, we make our own fate because you have done the work behind this, and you need to recognize that. Obstacles to overcome, I feel like with the Two of Swords coming out here, that you're going to have a decision to make. And this might have to do with what I was talking about over here with this King reversed. It might have to do with some communications. It might have to do with information or truth that you need to release or let go. And it's kind of, you're not really sure which way to go. This could even be a situation where you have like two parties pulling you in different directions. It could be, something as far as like you have a couple clients and you're not sure which one to focus on, which one might be the best for your time investment, because sometimes that's hard. We don't have infinite time, do we? This could be that you have two coworkers and they're wanting you to side. It's going to appear like you have two options. You're probably going to have more than that, though. Don't trust what other people are telling you as far as your options go. I feel like that's kind of why this King in reverse might be here as well. Investigate things on your own. I want to say find your own truth, but you know, if you have one party here telling you one thing, another party here telling you another thing, what is valuable to you or useful to you at this time might be somewhere in between. There's that song by Rush where if you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice. So sitting here not making a choice is a choice in itself too. So you may not want to pick sides, and you may not have to. You can pick your own side, you can pick yourself. But Two of Swords reminds us to make a heart over head decision. The moon is here, it's kind of murky, you're blindfolded, you really don't know the truth of everything going on. So yeah, you should investigate it a little bit more. And this could be even like somebody's coming in with like what sounds like an amazing opportunity for you. Just double check some things. Make sure that it really is what they say that it is, and make sure that, and it might be everything that it is, everything that someone else could want, but it's not what you want. That's why the heart overhead. Follow your instincts, follow your intuition. That's important. So your first step to improving any financial situation. Oh, look at this. Oh, we get the World. So it's kind of like a recognition of kind of coming back here to 7, that the world is in the palm of your hands. Trust your intuition, your heart. Something might need to end. There might be a cycle that needs to end. So if you have been thinking about leaving where you are right now, now this is not me, don't let me place a thought in your mind. This is if you've already had that thought that you might do better someplace else. The world can signify the end of a cycle. This can also talk about, though, an end of a project, an end of a relationship with a particular client, maybe, that they're asking you to do something that you don't agree with, and they're being really unreasonable and overbearing in that. that you just letting that go would be the start of improving things for you. Let's see about some opportunities. What do we have for opportunities for our group 1? Opportunities for group 1. Okay, this one wants to come out, so we're going to take it. Interesting. I said something about you having the world in your hand, and I'll show you what the Emperor, this is the Emperor, by the way, upright, ruled by Mars. He does have something in his hand, circular. It does kind of almost look like the world. Sometimes it's represented that way. He is very structured, and he is very, he's definitely all about success. He's all about victory, and he's a divine masculine. I said he was ruled by Mars. Mars is known to be, I'm talking about the god Mars which is Aries. What is Greek or Roman? It depends on, I forget which names are which. The Greek I think is older, and then Romans adapted it. So the Roman god Mars. He's the one who goes out and conquers. He's the one who would start wars. 4 is a number of stability too, and that's the number of the Emperor. And we have it in reverse. So opportunities coming your way may look like they're maybe not very structured. They may kind of look like you might want to put some more investigation into since something comes your way and you're like, I don't know about that. That doesn't really seem like it is for real, or it doesn't seem like it is concrete. It doesn't seem like it has a foundation under it. I feel like when these opportunities show up, they might just be kind of like come to you in like a really kind of weird way, that you overhear somebody at a coffee shop or a grocery store mention something, and you're like, hey, that's the business I'm in, or whatever. And it kind of gets to you in a roundabout way, in an odd way, or it's a different way that you are really useful. It's not through the standard proper channels. It's not through, like, you don't just get a phone call or a hit on your website. It seems like it might be a little bit more, and we've got the swords here, might be a little bit more word of mouth. It's not, and it might seem, I mentioned something about too good to be true. Just do a little bit more investigation on something like that, because the opportunity that comes to you just might not seem like something you would normally take. It seems a little bit out there, and it could turn into something. So just don't discount things. And who can help you? Look at this, the King of Cups can help you. So a water sign, if you know somebody who is a water sign, because this can represent an actual person. Somebody, I often kind of think the King of Cups is somebody like my stepdad. Just like that archetype of somebody who is really, like, under the surface, they're very caring, but they may not seem like they are. But under the surface, like, the things that they do are actually, like, dads are a lot like that. They don't necessarily show their emotions. They don't wear their emotions on their sleeve. It is really underneath, but the things that they do are actually very caring if you sit for a moment and think about that, because the King of Cups is somebody who is very much in control of his emotions, somebody who cares for you and cares about you. And that might be where this opportunity is coming from. And you just are like, it didn't really get to me in the proper channels, but it's coming from somebody that I trust, somebody who is, like, probably older than you, successful. Doesn't necessarily need to be a male, just somebody who is definitely in control of their emotions, control of they might seem like they are on this, like alone on this island. And that's interesting in and of itself too. They're probably pretty successful. I saw something the other day that this reminds me of about like as you level up, or as you succeed more and more and more, like you might lose friends, you might lose, so this person might seem like they're standing alone on their island, but they, in this saying, they said that's why a bus has so many seats, but a Lamborghini has 2, right? So this person who can help you might seem like they might just drop little hints here and there, or if you need more information from them, definitely talk to them and ask them. They're not somebody who is like very forthcoming with information, or they don't talk a lot. I think the King of Swords would be somebody who would give you more direction. I think the King of Cups is somebody who really wants you to do well and hopes that you do well. But if you aren't asking him for advice, he's not going to like give it, because he is in control of himself. He's not trying to control you. He's not trying to be controlling. He is just like, this is the area that I govern and this is where I exist. If you come to me, I will help you. So you might have to take that extra step in asking for help. From this person I described, the King of Cups can also be yourself. That it can help you to kind of not be too emotionally invested in one way or another. Try to keep things even keel, and try to be logical. He doesn't necessarily, and that might be part of what you need. The learning process here is making logical, I know I said make a heart over head decision, but you can do that in a logical way. Like this is the best for me. This is the way I'm feeling, and getting that information in. So advice and final outcome, I'm going to use these transparent cards here because I used them the other day and they were pretty interesting. Let's see what we have here. Okay, so this is interesting how these came out. Very cool. Okay, so we've got the Fool. That's what this card is. It is really, I like it here with the World. Both of these are major arcana cards, or major energies. The Fool is the beginning. The World is the end of the major arcana. So the Fool is 0, the World is 21. This is like, it feels like a new beginning for you, something that, and I was saying, I'm glad it's the Fool here with, the Emperor is a major arcana card too, and he's reversed. So the Emperor is somebody who's like concrete, feet on the ground, where the Fool energy is very free-spirited, very, taking risks and jumps out there, and is not so concerned with all of the details, is not so concerned with all of the planning like the Emperor would be. So I feel like you might need to embrace some Fool energy a little bit, especially if you're feeling trapped. It's really interesting that we have 3 Swords cards here. This is the 8 of Swords. The 8 of Swords talks about you feeling trapped. It's also interesting here with the King of Cups, because the King of Cups is shown here on his own island, and the 8 of Swords kind of makes her own island, but does that by just being kind of in almost this energy here with the 2 of Swords, almost this like makes her own prison. Okay, so I feel like for you for this month is really to work on, if you have some negative thoughts going on, or if you're not, the information that you have is not complete, really kind of filling that in, If you can't, again, go with your gut feeling. Don't get stuck in one spot. Don't hold other people at bay. The difference here between like the Eight of Swords, who is kind of on her, I would say, own island, separated from other people. She's in a prison by herself, created through her own thoughts. And she can let that go at any time. Where like the King of Cups, he's on his own island, but you're welcome there. Like if you want to talk to him, he will give you advice. You are welcome to receive that from him. So I feel like maybe you do need to protect yourself from others if you have some negative energy. That might be why this decision is so hard, because like you want to be a good friend, you want to be a good co-worker, you want to do things. It's just kind of like toxic and you need to protect yourself. Well, there's a difference in protecting yourself in this way where you don't move anywhere. And I'm talking about in the Eight of Swords where it's keeping you imprisoned, versus the King of Cups where you just remove yourself from the situation and don't let this negative energy impact you. So going forward is a new beginning here for you in September, is to start that new journey. And that might be ending something with a client. It might be if you were considering a new job or a new project or a new role within the company that you're working at. And I feel like with the Seven of Pentacles here, that you have already put the work in at the level or the position or where you are right now. And it's really time to just let course of events happen to where that takes place, and really look for this kind of the energy that's going to come in and change for you is going to be more of a free spirit energy. It's not going to have a bunch of rules. It's not going to have a bunch of boundaries. It's going to be really open. Any boundaries that you have are things that you place on yourself. And I'm just going to get some further advice here. Discernment. So 10 waxing gibbous discernment. I think that's very much over here in the Two of Swords. Any decision that you make, you know, don't just let, and there's a difference here in the Eight of Swords where you're not letting anybody in. The King of Cups is discerning of who he lets in, the information that he lets in, who he listens to, the information that he releases. And discernment, you know, don't put all your cards on the table. Take in all the information, but does it make sense? Start asking questions. What does this mean for you? And one more advice card for you. Peace. So it's really interesting in this peace card too, is like this bubble. I keep seeing this boundary around you, kind of with this king on his own island, but there's a difference in your boundaries, okay? The Eight of Swords boundary is you are trapping yourself. The peace and the King of Cups boundary is that you are not going to let other people drag you down. You are going to hold your highest vibration. You are going to look for the positives. You're going to look for these opportunities, but you're not going to get dragged down in this negativity, in whatever office gossip might be going on. And negative comments, that thing, you're not going to let that affect you. Of course, it's easier than it's harder than it sounds, right? Because those things happen, and of course, if you are a professional, you can take those things personally, but just remember, whenever somebody says something negative to you, that's a reflection of them, not you. Hold the higher vibration, and you're going to find people who are here to help you and to be in that higher vibration for you, either as an example or, you know, a mentor that you can talk to, or it's, you know, you could really this age that we live in is really interesting because you can like listen to Tony Robbins and you can consider him your mentor because you're able to access him 24/7 on a platform like YouTube and get information that you need. So that's what I have for you, Group 1. It looks like a really interesting September. Just use discernment. Don't let other people drag you down. Don't let your own mind drag you down. There's a lot of freedom here for you, a lot of ending cycles and starting brand new ones. You just need to kind of, this negativity, you kind of need to work through that negativity. So thank you so much, and I will see you in the next reading. Hello, Group 2. If you picked the orange calcite, or you like the number 2, or this lazy crow, you were in the right spot. I'm not ready to take cards yet. And that was a bunch of them. I just need one card. Okay, your deck is ready to go. All right, so first question is current financial situation. Just one card. Okay. All right, with the Devil. Lessons learned. Okay, this makes a little bit more sense. And obstacles to overcome. All right, so this is really interesting. We have current financial situation with the Devil, 5 of Swords as lessons learned, and then we've got the Chariot in reverse here for obstacles to overcome. So I feel like you don't feel like you're in the best position, or you're in a job that doesn't necessarily highlight your skills. It's okay, it pays the bills, but it doesn't really do anything for you to spark your soul. And it's probably something that you didn't actively go out to find. The Devil talks about being bound to things, addictions, and I'm not really seeing like an addiction. I don't think you're addicted to your job or your current financial situation. Although, like on the spectrum, the high end could be that because you are thinking of something else all the time, that you aren't putting in the work at your job, and that thinking of something else. Okay, yeah, on the nose, Devil could be a heroin. You could be a heroin addict. That is the possible interpretation. I don't think that's for anybody here, but I think that I was saying that it's not really something that you're really into, and that's why you're distracted with other things. You're not, it's not really your cup of tea. You might be hanging out here because it pays the bills. And also talk about having a boss or an authority figure that is not the best for you. Devil wears Prada kind of thing. And maybe you are learning a lot and you thought that this is an industry that you should be in, but it's really not the right situation or not the right fit for you. And then we've got the 5 of Swords. This is lessons learned. This is winning the battle but losing the war. I feel like there might be a lot of conflict where you are, a lot of cutthroat activities. If you are in sales, like people stealing your sales, or and your boss probably even promotes that kind of thing, probably because they are insecure, honestly, not because that you have done anything bad or your coworkers, but I think that they want to keep you guys fighting because, which is stupid, because if they were somebody who was secure, they would want like a well-oiled machine, everybody working together, because that would help grow things. And if they promote you, if they get you the skills that you need, if they get you training, you and your coworkers, then you know, that just betters everybody. But I don't think that that's really the environment that you're in. Obstacles to overcome. Here is the Chariot in reverse. So this again kind of goes back to things are not working together. If this was upright, these sphinxes would be moving together. They would be pulling this chariot across the sky. A lot of times this is thought of as like Apollo's chariot that pulls the sun across the sky. I mean, you have to pick up and take control of things to do that. People have to be in line and working together to do that. This is an obstacle for you, which makes me think that your current environment is I mean, you know better, but you're not the one in control here. I think, and it might be a sign though that you maybe do need to step up. Let's see, because the first step to improving here, we've got the Ace of Pentacles, which is usually like, yeah, let's go off and start something new. Awesome, perfect. This is exactly what we need. But we have it in reverse, so I feel like there's so much conflict over here that you're not really ready to focus on a new direction, or you haven't been. And hopefully this reading that we are discussing things, we can change that energy for you. Let's talk about some opportunities. What do we have for opportunities for group 2? Okay, another 5, and we've got the 5 of Cups. I feel like there's opportunities out there, but yeah, you're just so distracted over here with whatever is going on in your current environment, and it's major stuff. That's why I was like, I think that it's somebody above you that's really creating this environment where it's not really helpful for you to thrive. They probably have convinced you that you're the problem, and like I said, I feel like they're very insecure and they need this kind of drama or gossip going around to make themselves feel better. I don't think that it's you. I think that you have opportunities. I think that you, like in this card, you're just looking at the 3 cups that have spilled. There's 5 cups total, yeah, but the past is the past. What's happened has happened. Like you can't cry over spilled milk. Pick up these cups, come over here, and this is a river. We have a bridge that goes over to a river to a castle. There's a new destination available to you. Part of that though is getting a hold of your emotions and starting to control that. I feel like this devil over here is using your emotions as a manipulation tool. They're being very manipulative. They're planting thoughts that are not your own. So I feel like you taking a measure of control is something that can help you with that. Let's see. Well, who can help you? Because we know who's not helping you. Let's find out who can help you. Who can help? Just one card. Who can help our group 2s? Okay. This is the 8 of Wands. And this is a king. So this is, but it came out reversed. So this is slow and steady wins the race. This is you just starting to see your value. There might be somebody who is available for you to talk to or give advice, but this to me speaks more on you helping yourself, but understanding that small changes, slow changes, that things are going to change for you, and that might be also why this Ace of Pentacles is reversed, because that could be like really quick and explosive changes. It is a really fresh and new energy. And even the Chariot in reverse, because Chariot is fast moving energy too. And all of our energy about movement is in reverse. So it feels like we need to get a hold of your emotions first, which is kind of weird, right? in a reading about finances. But I think that you've just been kind of, there's so much gaslighting over here that you have this person who has this crazy narcissistic ego that is going on, that you kind of need to separate your own thoughts from the things that you've been told. And especially if it's somebody in a power over you, that and somebody that you've trusted, that when they tell you like your performance is this, and you're like, well, I thought I was doing better, but they're the one with experience, they must know. They're very insecure. They have this ego. They can't be challenged. And if you challenge them, they're gonna react in a really bad way and start wars and gossip. And it's not good. If you are self-employed, this could be a specific client that's just being really demanding. And if it's like your only client or your huge client, again, you need to make maybe small incremental changes. I also see in this Eight of Wands card, it's different in a sense. Usually it's just the wands that are showing and they're moving very quickly. But we've got this guy and he's like, hey, wait a second. This is kind of you standing up for yourself, but you might have to do it in incremental ways. The first thing for you is to get a hold of yourself internally. It's to do a really observing yourself, but being objective, an objective evaluation, not just on what somebody else is telling you. Like, understand that when somebody tells you something, it might be because they're toxic, not because you are. And that's what I'm really feeling here in this toxic situation. So advice and final outcome, I've got these cards here. They are transparent. So I put the white disc there. Let's get advice and final outcome here for our group 2. What is this? Okay, that's interesting. This is 4. This is the 4th card in the major arcana. You have a lot of major cards here because the Devil is major, Chariot's major, and then this is 4 is, I want to say it's not Aries, it's ruled by Aries, it is the Emperor. So masculine energy, stepping up, taking control for yourself, but building a proper foundation for that. And final outcome. Cool, and then you have the Queen of Cups. So I think these two work very well together. Again, I was talking about taking control of your energy, of your, she's the Queen of Cups, so it is your emotional energy. Really kind of, if you have somebody who's creating a very toxic environment, that in incremental ways, like you start creating a positive one, that you start stepping up as a leader that you are. If you have somebody who's directly over you and they're very overbearing, that it might be that you show yourself to their boss that you would be a better fit for their position, that you are somebody who can be in control. This might take a while, but it is starting to maybe create alliances with the people that you work with your vendors, whatever your situation is, and just creating that. I'm seeing like a reverberation of positive energy coming from you, because it's a really kind of negative environment that I'm getting, and finding small ways that you can do that. And maybe that's you bring, you just compliment somebody on their work, or like, wow, that's really interesting, you did a great job with that spreadsheet, or here, throw a Snickers bar at your friend, or at work, or just start really taking, because I feel like I know this is a career and finance reading, but we're getting some cups in here. I feel like connecting with people as people, connecting, making those connections is what's going to really turn some things around for you. It might take a little bit to do that. And then we've got 8, the path. This is a new portal opening, a new situation. This is, though, that you are climbing up those stairs to get to that. That, you know, where you are, you're not very happy with, and that's fine. You know, a lot of times we're not happy with our current position, but this is understanding that there is a new level available to you. And that's why I was saying, like, kind of become, you know, think of a system for yourself to put in place. Don't let the chaotic energy of somebody around you really affect you. You have to create your own system. You have to create your own positive movements to get that ace going. And then we've got abundance. So 38, abundance, hunter moon. I think the hunter moon happens in October, so this might be some timing for you that is kind of when the abundance might come. But this talks about the end of the harvest, like you putting in your work, you showing up every day, you being that positive influence that, you know, and I love that everybody is like looking up to her. So I feel like people will start looking up to you. When somebody is as overbearing and creates this like drama in the workplace as this person is, like there is a void, there is an opening for somebody to step up and take leadership. So I feel like if you do that, you will find abundance in a new way. Either your work environment gets better, or I'm feeling like everybody starts looking at you as a leader and you start getting recognized as that and step up into your power. The Queen of Cups is like stepping up into her power too. She's taking control and control of the situation and not letting other people control her. I think a lot of this is about you doing that, and then that's where you're going to find your abundance, and that's where you're going to really thrive. So that's what I have for you, group 2. I hope you have a fantastic month, and I will see you in the next reading. Hello, group 3, and welcome to your reading. We have the 3, the blue calcite. I think I was putting this way. I don't know. And we've got the Way of the Panda Tarot. So we're going to talk about your current financial situation. Pull a couple cards here. So we've got the Knight of Cups reversed. So I feel like you want to be really excited about the job that you're doing. You want to be really excited about your career. You're just not finding the passion though, and things aren't moving as quickly as you would like. Sometimes though, that's a blessing in disguise, because sometimes we need to take a little bit more time doing things. And you might be somebody who really does like to go with their passion. The disadvantage to that though is that you may not get things done. Let's fill this out a little bit more. Lessons learned, 2 of Pentacles. I feel like 2 of Pentacles talks about balance. We both got this in reverse too. So your lesson learned here is maybe you are spending a little bit more time on one thing more than you really kind of want to, or that your attention span is happy with, because you found that like balancing things or multitasking is kind of a little bit difficult for you. Let's see, less obstacles to overcome. I'm shuffling. Was an obstacle to overcome for our group 3s. This guy wants to come out. Okay, 8 of Swords. 8 of Swords, like if you're not really progressing as quickly as possible, you can just like go in a downward spiral very quickly in your mind. 8 of Swords is kind of a prison of your own making. This is maybe looking at the negative side of things. If you're not getting things accomplished and you want to, like maybe your inclination is to work on this over here and this over here and this over here and this over here, and then you're just not getting anything accomplished, coming out of this Eight of Swords energy, it might help to really focus on one thing at a time, and it might take you longer than you really want to, and you might have to work past the point of that you really want to on, you know, whatever that is. Like you get into, like there are people who get into like a specific degree, and then they get into their third year and then change their major, that kind of thing. So I feel like you're kind of getting stuff done to like 70%, and then putting it down and then feeling like you're a complete failure, and you put in all of this energy. And I think the obstacle here is sticking with something that sometimes, you know, your excitement at the beginning isn't always enough to carry you through the end. It's kind of like you have to dip into your sheer will to do it. So I feel like there might be, you know, if you are trying to learn something new because you want to progress in your field, and you need to learn this new thing, you just have to sit down and do it. You have to sit down and complete it. It needs to be done. You need to, if you want that certificate, you have to do this every day. And it may even be just that you force yourself to do it 10 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day. Once you get to that 10 minutes, go, you know what, I can do another 10, or I can do another 10. And you're going to start seeing progression, which is going to give you like, get these negative thoughts out of your head. I feel like you're somebody who has like a lot of projects out there that aren't all the way to completion. Doesn't mean that things can be perfect. A lot of times when we are a perfectionist, that hurts us because we put this bar out there. We put this bar out there that we can't possibly reach. So I feel like, you know, maybe you need to pull the bar back a little bit, and maybe you need to reward yourself along the way that you're going. Next thing we have is opportunities, and our Queen of Swords came out. Let's see what else we have. Actually, Queen of Swords is the first step to improving. So that's being really honest with yourself. That's taking an honest evaluation of where you are and what you're doing, and being truthful. The Queen of Swords is somebody who creates her environment. But she's brutally honest with herself of where she is. But she's not going to like tell herself she's worthless if she doesn't have something completed either. She's going to be like, okay, let's be very logical about this. Let's not get into like this emotional quagmire where we are putting up this wall and not letting anybody else in. It's really cute here with the Queen of Swords that she's got her little sidekick. So it may be that you do need to express to other people that you need some help, and even just like a pep talk. Or maybe it is that you need to find a little bit more information out that's going to help you on YouTube, and search those things and find that sidekick that's going to help you out. And then we come to opportunities. Opportunities, we have Three of Swords. Again, you know, a lot of swords energy here, a lot of, you know, swords is an emotion, but these two cards I really feel like are, I mean, this is your broken heart, so opportunity could be just working past that broken heart. And I feel like this is all like on a professional level, not necessarily romantic, even though we do have the Knight of Cups, who is a romantic here. But I think that you get into something, and it just, because you are so personally invested in it, like whatever your project or job is, that you take it personally when it's not working out perfectly the way that you want it. So your opportunities are going to come when you take a logical assessment of where you are, and you act logically. even though there's no cups here, I feel like you need to take some emotion out of this. You need to be logical, you need to be methodical, you need to finish what you start and work past that point of the negative thoughts coming in. And let's see, who can help you? We have the Two of Swords, like another Swords card. So this Two of Swords is making a choice. It's making a, I feel like, okay, so Two of Swords often talks about making a heart over head decision, but it's yeah, and I've been telling you to be logical and not to bring emotions in it, but that doesn't mean that you have to make an emotional decision. It just means that you like follow your intuition on something, that you get the information about what you're doing and let that come in here. I have some more cards to pull. Because I have advice and our final outcome, and I've got these transparent cards that I'm going to pull advice and final outcome here for our group 3. Let's see, this guy wants to come out. That is the King of Wands. So kings are in control. I feel like, you know, you have the Queen of Swords and the King of Wands. Queens create, kings control, and this is like, hey, I need to take a little bit more control over in your passion projects and not let minor setbacks hurt you. Not let these minor setbacks break your heart. And then this is the Ace of Swords. So much swords energy, so much here. Swords are double-edged. They can be really great, or they can like you can cut yourself with them. This is going out new, investigating something brand new, a brand new energy here. And with this Ace of Swords, this is, you know, letting in new information. I feel like the King of Wands is here to get passionate about something. And I know it's kind of weird that we've got the Ace here, but I feel like you do need to finish some things. You do need to kind of give up this idea of juggling certain things, like it's not working for you, and to stick with something. Because like the Ace of Swords is a new energy coming in, but I don't think it's necessarily a new project. I think it's this kind of almost stepping into your power and realizing how powerful you are and how powerful your thoughts are. And I feel like it's your thoughts that are holding you back. The other interesting thing here with this Ace of Swords layered over a king, the Ace of Swords is almost like, have you ever heard of the Sword and the Stone? Where it's the myth of King Arthur. So that really reminds me of that here, where you know, everybody wanted to pull that because whoever could pull that sword from that stone was destined to be the King of England, and nobody could do it. And it was, I mean, some very powerful knights were trying, adults, and it was the King Arthur, it was Arthur, but he came along as a child and pulled it out. And I think he was like a squire, and I think it was here, like you don't know your own power, that what is holding you back is yourself. And it's really kind of like, hey, you know, pick up this sword and put it to use for yourself. Pick it up and create your own power here. Control your power. More control your power. Control your thoughts. And that's going to get you moving into the right. Excalibur was the sword's name. You have an Excalibur. You have like a secret weapon, and it's yourself, because it isn't just any normal person that can pick up Excalibur. You have this capability of doing that. I just feel like that it is And I think you know that to a degree. That's kind of why I'm getting like this whole perfectionist thing. But really just stick with it. When you keep going with something and just be happy, like I was saying with 70%, like, okay, I can't finish this project to 100% of the way that I want it to do, so I'm never gonna start. Well, can you do it to 70%? Well, yeah, probably. And as you keep doing this over and over and over again, your product keeps getting better. And it, when you do 7 projects, and the product of which is at 70% of what you thought, like all of a sudden, like your 7th product is amazing. I hope that made sense. Projects. Okay. Oh wow. Okay. We got 8 the path. This is interesting because I'm shuffling on camera today, so I put all these cards back, and I think it was group 1 who got the path 2. I feel like this is so if you were drawn to that, you might want to listen to that one too, because they might be connected in that way. But the path is about leveling up here. You're being shown a path. It's really just that you have to climb that ladder. That's how you get there. This is a portal into the next position. And I feel like for you, the leveling up is you just completing, you getting the thoughts that are in your mind, either on paper or you creating that project that you have in your mind. And then we've got 22 wisdom, waning gibbous. So the other thing is that, if you don't, we live in an amazing age where if you don't know something, you can find somebody who does. And she's standing on these books here, and it's almost, this could be the same person climbing up. And I even mentioned something about getting that degree or getting that certificate or getting that thing to get you to the next level. And here we have, she's in a boat standing on books. So I feel like there's some information out there that you don't know, but that's okay that you don't know it, because you can find it and you can stand on the shoulders of giants. But don't beat yourself up that you don't know something or you don't have that skill. There are places out there where you can find people to help you. I'm like looking at this little bear here, back here with the Queen of Swords. Maybe this is somebody you find on Fiverr and you pay them $5 to do your logo, or you pay them $5 to create this spreadsheet that you're having a problem with, or you find a video on YouTube that tells you exactly how to do it. Or I think I mentioned this on the last video, where you need a mentor. Well, we have so many videos out there, like Tony Robbins can be your mentor, just because you can go and access his content for free and listen to what he has to say and apply it to yourself. And I feel like that finding that missing link for you, just kind of like chilling out a little bit. Yeah, you're kind of stuck where you are at the moment, but that doesn't mean that you have to be stuck here forever, here in this 8 of Swords and here in this 3 of Swords. Don't beat yourself up. You can move forward. You have the power inside of you, and that's just a recognition of that. So that's what I have for you, Group 3. I hope you have a fantastic month, and I will see you in the next reading. Hello, Group 4. If you picked 4, you like the Light Seers Tarot, or you like Amethyst, whatever, you're in the right spot. Let's start pulling some cards. So the first question here for you, Group 4, is current financial situation. And the Fool popped out upright, so we're going to take the Fool. It looks like a really like you're open to new things, you're open to new adventures, and look at this, the Fool is even holding Amethyst. That's really cool. So you have the Amethyst here, and the 4 was over here underneath this amethyst heart. So purple or amethyst might be really meaningful to you for this month as well. But it seems like you're really open to doing some new things, making some new discoveries. You're willing and ready to jump into things without knowing all the details. You're just coming at it from a really hopeful position. You're not worried about having options or everything worked out before you jump in. You just have like, this is you trusting your future self, that you're like, okay, whatever, I'm gonna head down this road, and then whatever obstacles come up, I'm gonna be able to face it. I'm trusting my future self with future responsibilities. So then we need to know lessons learned. Let's talk about some lessons learned here. And we've got the 3 of Cups reversed. So this might be, that's really interesting. This is also purple. 3 of Cups is usually like a really joyful connection with other people. Your lessons learned here might be that, and that might be the Fool here going off on your own, that you tried working in an environment with a lot of people and that just wasn't for you, that you want to you want to dance to the beat of your own drummer, you want to go off on your own. That doesn't mean that you can't have friends or meaningful connections, but that you kind of understand that the only person who fully understands you and your journey and where you want to go is you. Like I said, it doesn't mean that you can't have friends or other connections. It just means that you are being responsible for yourself. And that's really interesting here because we've got the 2 of Cups reversed and obstacles to overcome. And this is, 2 of Cups upright. This is a partnership. So when we get it reversed, this is all about you. So the obstacle might be, even though you have this lovely carefree energy, the obstacle might be that you still think you need somebody to invest in with you, or that you need to get other people's opinions of what you're doing. This is all you, baby. You got this. Okay, so first step to improving, very interesting. 10 of Cups and upright. So this is kind of, I don't want to say planning to get to this spot, but I think you as the Fool kind of have an end goal in mind, like where you want to go. The 10 of Cups usually talks about, it's a beautiful, happy family here. There's kids, there's rainbows. Everything is rainbows and lollipops. And I feel like that there is like definitely a Fool energy in here, because a Fool doesn't jump off that cliff because she thinks she's gonna fall. She jumps off because she thinks she's gonna fly. Look at, you're getting caught by a rainbow. The rainbow is catching you here. So I think you know that your journey that you're setting off on here, you do have a very hopeful end goal, end energy, at least where you want to be in a specific amount of time, whether that is, this next month or in 6 months, that kind of thing. Okay, and then your opportunities, and we've got the Hermit reversed. So don't get too caught up in doing everything yourself. It's just, I think these messages that are coming through here is to trust yourself and to trust where you want to go, and not worry about like everybody on social media being on board with what you're doing or being excited about what you're doing. As long as you're excited about what you're doing, that's enough. However, opportunities can come for you when, I don't want to say necessarily connected, because we're all connected, so understanding that, but like engage with other people, that there are other people, because the Hermit it's reversed, right? The Hermit is her out here on her own by herself. It's really also interesting that it is very similar to the Fool. Like the Fool is getting ready to jump off though. Like she's being very introspective here with the Hermit being on that cliff overlooking that water. She's not jumping, she's holding her spot. So I feel like, and she's by herself. So I feel like the Hermit reversed here talks about you being complete and happy with what you're doing, but being open to the possibilities of like other people presenting opportunities for you. Like you're not going to find your opportunity in a vacuum. That while, you know, the end goal here is to this 10 of Cups where you have other people working with you and being with you, and that's fine. Right now though, at the beginning, this is your vision, so you need to put your vision into action and not let others come in and complicate it or come in and make you alter it. And let's see who can help you. Let's see if there's an answer to who can help you. This is the Hangman reversed. So the Hangman is somebody who looks at something from a new perspective. I feel like reversed though, like they're just taking a time out. I love it in this deck because she's doing this, what is this called? I think it's related to yoga, hanging upside down. And I also think, you know, rebuilding things from the ground up, but it's definitely her taking a time out when this is upright. So in reverse, it's time to move, which I feel like you have this movement here in the Fool as well. It's time to put things into action, and it maybe not necessarily a who, because there's no clear person coming in to help you, that you are doing this again yourself. You're putting it into action. It's also interesting that we have kind of this like behind this light here, I feel like, and not necessarily even that it's a little bit here on this amethyst, this a little bit of like this warm yellow light kind of represented or reminiscent of like the sun energy. I feel like where you're going, as long as you're being true to yourself, it's blessed, if you will, by the universe, that this is kind of like, it has very much of a destiny feel. And like, it's not, again, not that you are rejecting anybody else. It's just that right now, this is about you. This is about your journey. This is what you want to do. This is not you worried about where your parents think. It's not you worried about your coworkers, that kind of thing. This is on your own. What is important to you? And I wonder if you've been asking yourself that recently, and maybe you should. So we've got advice and final outcome, and I've got transparent cards here that I'm shuffling through. Okay. It gets messy. What is this? This is, I have to look it up real quick. Because the transparent tarot, while super awesome, the cards are represented a little bit different, and I'm not recognizing it off the bat. Oh, okay. 6, the Lovers. That's why I'm not recognizing it, because it doesn't look like the normal Lovers card at all, which is fine. But we've got the yin and the yang coming in here. We've got the heart with the Lovers. A lot of times the Lovers is about a choice and following your heart. It's also related to the zodiac sign Gemini, so twins. And I feel like it's you know, if this was a love reading, it would be, I'm reading this very, very differently than if it were a love reading, but I'm just thinking like you have all the perfect cards here for a love reading. But I feel like whatever you're doing financially or in your career wise, it is something that you love and something that you really want to do. And maybe that hasn't been the case in the past, which is why like you're getting this opportunity, and that's why you're coming into September so free and open, or at least you have an idea of what you want to do. And Lovers is making a heart choice, and it also talks about leveling up in your consciousness. So this could be this burst of energy that you have here, because the Fool feels like very positive burst of new energy, because it's the 0 card, but this burst of energy comes from like a new beginning. The Lovers to me often represents kind of a leveling up in consciousness, like a new understanding of something. And the reason I say that is because it usually has like Adam and Eve on there with the serpent behind them. And for the story of Adam and Eve, where they get kicked out of the Garden of Eden, but they're going in and they're making it on their own, and they have this new level of consciousness. They realize they're different than the animals. They realize they're different from, there's no people around them, but I'm thinking that you're realizing you're different from the people that are around you right now. And you kind of need to follow this path on your own, that it's not going to be lonely. There's going to be people that you meet and support you along the way, and probably your friends, even though they may not understand you, are very supportive. But this is just like a new energy coming in to where you realize where you are. It's not bad at all. It's great. It's just, it's just not for you anymore. Like they couldn't stay where they were. They couldn't stay in the Garden of Eden knowing what they know now. And there's so many things that we learn along the way that are that's like that, right? Like, there's places I could not go back and work for knowing what I know now. And I feel like that is a situation happening for you. And then the final outcome here, we have the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles, even though everything else is kind of like move, like once you get into your groove, I feel like it's just going to be like slow and steady progress. The Knight of Pentacles is somebody who builds something, and he's usually like plowing this whole field, and he's doing it for his village. Knights move, and a lot of them move like very quickly, but the Knight of Pentacles is a very slow moving knight. He's the slowest moving knight. Even though he's moving, he's doing things, he's like moving at a turtle's pace because he's plowing this field, he's doing this. But he's putting a lot of work into his dream of creating this beautiful field full of food that he is using to feed his village. And it seems like it could be a very kind of like, again, he's doing this on his own. There's not other people involved, and I feel like the kind of like it connects our Fool energy here, like this excitement to get something started because you see what the end outcome is, and the Knight is just kind of the in-between and that, where he goes and he puts in the actual work to make it happen. Patience. 36. The Knight of Pentacles is all about patience. It will come, it will happen. Have patience. That's so interesting that we have this looks like a cornfield here, and she's peering from where she is into like this, almost like a portal into like this new space. And she just has that, the red balloon almost looks like hope to me. Oh, well, no wonder it's a corn maze, because this is the green corn moon. Let's see, one more of these guys. There we go. This one's jumping out. And then we've got Wolf Moon Hunger. So very interesting. I think that hunger kind of is at the heart of this because it's moving you from something that isn't sustaining you, that isn't feeding your soul. Like the starting off with the Fool here, I really feel like you need more, like you have this hunger, you have this almost desire here, and that you need to feed your soul. You need to go and howl at some moons. It's also interesting here that we've got full moons. I feel like, you know, full moons are the end of the lunar cycle. So I feel like, especially with the Knight of Pentacles being here, that whatever you put into action and you work towards every day has great potential. And it looks very lovely, group 4. So that's what I have for you, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Thank you.